Hey guys, Guardian Matt here, and I wanted to give this a couple days to really sink in. Um, I am recording this, day of. I'm gonna just release it tonight. Like I said, I wanted to give it a couple days to sink in everything, but I think it kind of does need to be addressed now. The new Commander ban list dropped, and I know you've seen a lot of other creators, come out and talk about and everything like that. It's a doozy. So let's go over this. We have 4 cards banned. 4 new cards banned. Now, noted, just so you guys know, we haven't had a single card banned in Commander since September of 2021. And that was Golos, which arguably I don't think needs to be banned. It was very popular. It's a fun commander. It's definitely not broken compared to other commanders that have come out since and even before. I definitely think it can probably come back, but that's a conversation for another time. But just looking at the 4 cards that were banned, we have Dockside Extortionist, Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Nadu. Now, looking at these 4 here, Nadu has been there's been a warpath to get this card banned. And personally, I don't think this card is that bad. Like, I get it, it's a 3-drop in Simic, which is easy to get out. It has flying, which is fine, and the other stats are fine, but it's really the effect that it gives every creature the ability that if it is targeted, it then you then can look at the top card of your library, and I'll actually bring it right over here just so I can get the right text for it. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice. That's like not that bad. It's obviously I know it's a kill commander. Hey, you see it, get rid of it. But okay. Like, a lot of commanders are kill commanders. Like, if you play Turgid, get rid of that. If you're playing Jin-Gitaxias, get rid of that. If you're, like, playing Edgar Markov, I know Edgar Markov, Neo Eminence, it doesn't really matter, or your Dragon doesn't really matter, but if you're on against a Lathril or anything like that, get rid of the commander. Like, so you just target the commander after, if you can't stop it from coming out. Remember, this is a creature. Creature removal's a thing. You can just counterspell it. But if you can't stop it when it's out, okay, Swords of Plowshare it. Beast Within. Chaos Warp. Yeah, you're gonna get the one-off ability, but I'd rather make them have to recast the card than, have it stay on the field and just try to play around it. Or, hey, just do something that makes not targeted. Board wipe. You're not targeting that. Make your opponent sacrifice. You're not targeting that. There's ways to get around this. Just play more interaction, and you're perfectly fine. Dockside Extortionist has been around for a long time. This came out in 2019, a pre-con, and I really wish I picked up that pre-con when it did. But it's not bad. I get that it is abusable, but this really puts heavy artifact decks in check, because you don't want to spam out artifacts if you know your opponent may possibly have Dockside in hand. This was just a staple for red because of that. And it's a good card. I understand it. It's abusable, but it's not really that bad of a card. Again, it dies, like, you play it. Counterspell. Just stop it from coming into the field. There are ways to just stop it. Or, hey, force them to crack all of their artifacts with artifact removal, or do something to reduce it by maybe don't play 1,000 different artifacts. I get it, if you're playing an artifact deck, that's what you're just gonna have to worry about, but hey, you're the one who chose to play the artifact deck. Jeweled Lotus is a really sad hit, because Jeweled Lotus is a card that can only be played in Commander. It was designed in Commander. This is the Black Lotus of the format. And it's, like I said, it's not that bad. I get it. It's very powerful. It's free. You play it, crack it, get 3 mana of any one color, but you can only use it to cast your commander. If you're not playing a monocolor commander or a dual color commander or even a 3-drop commander where it has extra, that isn't just, the 3 colors. It's great. But if you are playing a 5-color commander, it's not that good. Like, you'll never play this in Slivers. Like, you may play it in, like, the Ur-Dragon to speed up your Ur-Dragon coming out, but you don't care if Ur-Dragon comes out. Ur-Dragon does its effect whether it's on the field or the command zone. Yeah, it's really nice to have it on the field because it does even more then, but you don't need it. Like, this, I feel like, isn't that bad. Like, oh, what am I going to get? I'm going to get my Eldrazi out faster? Cool, great. There's 1,000 other things that can do that. Speaking of funds, Mana Crypt. I don't understand this. I get it, like, it's a 0-drop. It has a drawback. If you lose, like, the flip, you get 3 points of damage. But it's a free Soul Ring. It's a 0-drop Soul Ring. And I get you can really, with both of these, you can really push off. Like, first turn, if you open up both of these, you are kind of just set. But again, you're talking about the best case scenario with all these cards. It's Commander. There's 100 cards in your deck. You are worried about 1-drops? I get these are like some of the most played cards, especially in like CEDH, but like, are they really worth completely banning them? And that's the big thing. These are really powerful cards that really get played in CEDH. But Commander as a whole is mostly a casual format. It is EDH. It is, hey, me and my buddies are going to play on my dining room table, and we're just going to play what we like. That's the majority of Commander. And that's why I feel like there shouldn't be an overall Commander ban list. Regular Commander, I feel like, should be up to the individual person. Like, if your pod doesn't like these, go for it. If your pod likes these, go for it. Keep them in. Ban them. Keep them. Unban, like, Grizzlebrand or something like that. Ban Soul Ring like everybody wants. Make it however you want for the people you play with. That's what regular EDH should be. No ban lists. Play what you want. Play what you have. Everything should be tailored to the group. If you want a group ban list, go for it. Like, Command Zone has their own ban list. That, to keep everything kind of like fun. I know it's for the show, but still, like, if you know you're going to be playing high-powered decks, everybody, go for it. Put everything in there. But if you really want things to just be a little casual, like play like 6s and 7s and stuff like that, yeah, ban them. It's the agreement of the players. Now, I feel like there should be a CEDH ban list because that's competitive. It's the same thing as like standard or modern or limited and stuff like that. There's conventions for it. There's money. As far as I'm aware of, like some of those conventions and tournaments and stuff like that, you get money and stuff from it, like standard. That's why there's ban lists in those. That's why there's rotation in standard. So that makes sense. And these are really the staple of CEDH. And I get like some cards in there are really overpowered, but really, were these really, that bad? I know they kind of define what CEDH is, but that should be for the CEDH players to decide, like a CEDH group. Not only that, but this also affects the secondary market. All of these ones' prices are going down, especially Jeweled Lotus. This has gone down dramatically, or is going to go down dramatically from it. Nadu's been on like I said, on the warpath. Like, a Nadu's like $5 or so, give or take. Like, you're not losing a lot on this. Mana Crypt's at least playable in other formats, and so is Dockside, but these are going to also go down. And Mana Crypt just got reprinted. I think Dockside did too. And Jeweled Lotus. And this just came out. We have all these, but in like the next set, we're going to be getting a demon that turns people's lives to 6 and all the cards in their deck to 6. But we didn't ban that? Looking at some of the other salty cards, we have Stasis. This literally makes it so you can't play Winter Ward, you can't play. Vorinclex, you're either playing a whole lot or you're playing not at all. Destroy your lands. Thassa's Oracle has been a problem for a long time. Stasis Orb, you can't play. Turgid, I'll make you sacrifice and discard everything. I'm just going to steal your stuff. The One Ring is a Teferi's Protection with a draw to it that has indestructible, so you can't even really get rid of it that well. Costs 4. And the downside is you lose 1 life per bird encounter? Like, is that really a downside? This is just, we're restarting the game and you're just top decking. This is an abomination. And this is, everything has a continual upkeep. But out of all of these cards here, this is the only one banned. And right underneath this one is Ristic Studies. I would have thought this would have got banned before any of those. There's Dockside. That's bad. That's bad. Like, there's a bunch of other bad cards here that weren't touched at all. Hey, look, there's Jeweled Lotus. You know what's above that? Embercool and Orcish Bowmaster. Smothering Tithe. Worldfire. This got unbanned. But it exiles all permanents, exiles all cards from your hands and graveyards. Each player's life becomes a total of 1. You are top decking. Whoever top decks, a spell that, can just deal 1 damage, you win. But this is here. Shieldred is here. Like everything's basic mountains. There's a lot of other cards that are just like on the salt meter that are worse than these. And what's weird is 2 of these ones, there's 0. I understand the reason there's 0 drop mana creations, but like there are other ones. There's Mox Diamond, Mox Opal. Like there's other 0 drops. Yeah, they have like, hey, you have to discard a card, or hey, you need to have like these many things. There's still 0 drops. They want to ban Soul Ring because it's a 1 drop. Like, really? Mana Vault, yeah, it doesn't untap unless you pay 4, but who cares when in turn 1 I can get my commander out? That's the whole point of playing Mana Crypt. It just seems weird. And, like I said, overall, if you want to follow this ban list, even the overall ban list, like, here's the overall minus the other ones, go for it. If you want, that's great. Don't play these things in there. You're perfectly fine. No one's gonna say no to this. But if you have like a group of people you play with all the time, just sit down and like talk to them about, hey, what do we want to play? Build whatever deck you want. And if you want to play with unbanned cards, fully unbanned, everything's fine. Find a group that wants to play that. Or try, Camlander, Canadian EDH. They don't have a ban list. There's no commander, but, you still kind of design around it. And their powerful cards are just point buy systems. Like, you can play a Black Lotus. It costs, like, 5 points, and you can have 10 points within those point cards for, like, the more powerful cards. But hey, that makes everything a little bit more interesting. It really makes you think of like your meta deck building. Maybe give that a try. But I hope this really doesn't dissuade people from not playing a format that they love. Just find the people, talk to your group. If your friends and your pod and all that stuff is perfectly fine continuing to play with these cards, continue to play with the cards. Don't let, like, if you're going out to a place and they follow this, okay, cool, gotcha, but don't let this ban list and everything else for it affect how you want to play with the people you play with. And that's really all I have to say about it. I know I kind of repeated myself a little bit here and there, but this is a format I do really love, and hopefully that everything here, doesn't dissuade people from not playing anymore. But yeah, I'm still gonna play. I'm still gonna have fun. And if you want to have fun with me or watch me, have fun with my friends playing this, our favorite format, feel free to subscribe, like the video, and stick around for some, more Magic and just more hobby stuff in general. Until I see you guys again, remember, eyes up and keep rolling.